Everyone to Little Crafted Show. My name is Eileen, aka Eileen Little Crafted. Additional information about this show and my podcast show, Arts, Crafts, and Everything in Between, can be found on my website, eileenlittlecrafted.com. Alrighty, guys, so today's video is all about making planner flags with your Cricut. As you can see, I made a couple of planner flags using um, my Cricut design space, and I did cut them out. I made some already, but I am going to show you how I designed these. Well, not these particular ones. I'm going to use different designs. So Cricut does have planner flags, and available. You can also, get them digitally from an Etsy shop or free online. I like to start off with a box, which is the weekly box, so that I know exactly roughly what size I want to start with. And so yeah, that I find that very helpful. But you just want to size it for now so that you have a reference, and then um, I'm gonna try and get you that sizing really quick. Okay, so the MAMBI weekly box size, and FYI, the MAMBI is coming out with different sizes, so you might want to measure once and measure twice and cut once. That's the adage. Okay, for the big planners, which is what we're going to be working with, for the big planner size, the size is 1. Excuse me, 1.89 by 2.95, and the what is this? By 2.95. The classic planner size is 1.95 by 50, and the by 2.41, and the mini is 3.8 by 1.5. So you also want to make sure that you use the proportion locks, because if you don't, which is the little lock up top, you can either unlock it here, or you can unlock it by the little lock, which you see right there. So it's called the lock proportions, and if you don't unlock it, it'll throw everything. I mean, it will just do it proportionally. It won't do it the size that you want. What I like to do is I like to try and um, make sure that I do that. Anyways, so I made it a different color right there so that you guys could, and I forgot to mention earlier, I was thinking about doing hexagons. So I'm going to do some hexagons. I want to do some hexagons instead of, as you can see in the other one with the clove background, I was thinking about doing some hexagons. I think I did hexagons, but anyways, yeah, this video got a little noisy, so I had to do a voiceover. Anyway, guys, so you can do hexagons, you can do squares, you can do pretty much any shape that you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm getting everything set up. I'm going to go into the image options, and I'm going to look up planner flag. So there are the images. Anything with an A, again, is free for Cricut Access members. And if you are interested in getting the Access member, I highly recommend it. They're always coming out with awesome new images, fonts that you can use for free. Um, I find that it's a really, really good deal. So, yeah. So, anyway, so like I said, these are all my planner stuff. Some of them I got for free. Some of them is from Cricut. Some of them I bought. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just looking for a flag that I can use that is can be altered. Some of them can't be altered all the way. Some of them, can. So, I mean, you just kind of play around with it and see which way. But, you can make your own. That flag right there didn't alter very well, so I was looking for this particular flag. And so I'm just going to hit the little, you know that the image is there once you see the little like circle picture down on the bottom. I'm going to hit insert. I'm going to look for the flag because it's up top. And I'm just going to take it and going to I'm gonna ungroup I'm gonna hit my what is that? What am I doing now? So I'm gonna ungroup these layers. That's what I'm gonna do. And as you can see, you can use it just like that. That's what I was trying to say. I remember now. Lost my train of thought. You can actually use it like that. You just gotta proportion it, and you'll be done. And you can make it any different sizes, or add another star if you wanted to. I think more or less a planner flag for the big is about 6 or 7. I had, and for the other one is about 5 or 6, and for the mini, I think it's about 4 or 5. But you can look at their little boards. Anyway, so at this point, I'm going to detach it, and I'm going to hit the detach button down below. Um, and I'm going to take it and move it out the way, and then just either you can use the little eye, or you could just you know, click on it, the little X button, and then you can get rid of it. So right there, I'm going to click that little eye. Or if you want to change the color, you can always do that as well. That's another option if you wanted to. So there's a bunch of different options. You could have it a different color. You could print the background a different color as well. You can have it print and cut a different background. So at this point, what I like to do is, and I don't know why that happened, I find that I'm gonna make it a different color. I'm gonna print it out, and I want to share with you different patterns. I want a spring background. Those are some backgrounds that I picked. They're free online. I just Google them, free background images. That will so I'm gonna filter the images. Once again, you can filter them by ownership. You can filter them by collection, which basically is like spring, birthday, all that good stuff. And yeah, it's a bunch of different stuff. And so I'm gonna filter it by spring, and then I'm also gonna filter it by either own or access. You can even filter them by color, which is really, really cool. So sky's the limit here, guys. And so I just kind of messed up a little bit there. Sorry about that. And so I'm just gonna pick out which one I like. And so as you can see, they have a awesome spring background variety, which was pretty hard at this point to pick. So I finally found something that I thought was pretty cute. And so I'm gonna hit it. I'm actually gonna duplicate it before, because I decided, I was like, wait a minute, let me duplicate it, because I always do this. I'm like, oh, let me make another one, and then I have to go back and do the steps all over again. So I decided to do duplicate it 3. You can do it either when you click on the image, or you can do it up top. And then I'm gonna do, pick out the different spring flags that I want. So I realized that, I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing now? Voiceovers, you got to do them the day, but stuff happens, life happens, it is what it is. Again, guys, so this is really simple, it's really fun. So I'm going to pick a different background. I'm going to edit the background. I want it so that you can see the clouds a little more, and this is a really cool feature. You can get to see the pattern, the polka dots, really, really cool. Love that pattern. And you can rotate it, you could do it horizontally, and so yeah, so it's a bunch of stuff. You just play around with the buttons, and I kind of feel like, if you play around with the buttons a little bit, if you're not doing it like a serious project, you want to get just a hold of the buttons, just kind of look around and see what you can do, what you can do. I mean, there's also a bunch of great tutorials. Cricut is also doing a bunch of awesome tutorials. Also, I'm picking out just a color that I thought would really match the scheme of things, because I'm kind of doing a split of a little bit of St. Patrick's stuff. I want to do a little bit of spring stuff because spring is coming around the corner. So I kind of want to make it a little St. Patrick's-y, a little bit spring, but I want everything to kind of be a little matchy-matchy. So I think I'm going to do a little blue, a little greens, stuff like that. And again, the shamrocks, as you can see, the little shamrock flags that I already cut out, which I'm definitely going to be doing a video on very soon, so you guys can see what everything looks like, the boxes and all that stuff. That shamrock pattern, I just basically, like I said, Googled St. St. Patrick's backgrounds or spring backgrounds, something. So saw it, used it, and now I'm just looking through a bunch of different more backgrounds that I'm thinking about picking. Also, St. Patrick's backgrounds, you can find them on the Cricut background. So if you're an Access member, it'll be free. Like I said, it'd have like a little A next to it. If not, then you would have to buy that particular pattern. Which, I mean, honestly, the way I'm looking at it, it seems like they have a huge ton of library, and I'm not trying to sell you on the Cricut Access member. I'm just letting you guys know that if you are on the fence of that, that would be really, really cool. So I decided to, I love that cloud background. It's really distressed. It's really up my alley. As you guys know, I love distress items, and that was really, really cool. Love the blue. I mean, so you can make it either, it's just a matter of preference. And I thought that the clouds were great, but also I wanted to see more of the blue as well. So kind of figuring out at this point, I think that I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in terms of, I want to do a hexagon. I also want to do, I don't know if I wanted to do a, like I said, sky's the limit here. What did I want to do? I think I was going to put stars or hearts or clouds. So yeah, so you know, and so that is another option. You want to pick a background when you're doing like let's say your little flowers. That's what I want to do. If you want to pick something that's really solid, like that first one, the third one, that one would be cool too. That would be a nice option to use. I think that's what I chose. Um, anyone, that first one, any one of those would be really good. So I'm picking that one, and then I'm going to pick another one. I decided on flowers, and I forgot what else did I decided on. Oh yeah, raindrops. I decided to do one with raindrops. So that raindrop is really solid. It'll be a nice little place where you can just mark off your little to-do list, what you're going to be doing that day. That umbrella would be pretty cool as well. It will be a nice little print and cut file if you attach it nicely. Um, so yeah, because that's what kind of looks like the shamrocks, that I put for the first banners flags, the sticker planner flags. So that's kind of what I did up top. So yeah, so I kind of wanted everything to be a little matchy-matchy. I have I'm gonna make everything white. I kind of feel that if I make it white, you can definitely see where you need to check off your list. It kind of gives you a little visual cue. So everything's going to be white. So at this point, I also am going to, down below, you can also see, you can see, what is that? I want to say, basically your canvas or your mat, your virtual mat, you can change the color of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm thinking about what I want to make it, whatchamacallit, but I really can't figure out what color blue I want. So I'm having a hard time at this point. I'm thinking about making it maybe beige, but then later on, as I said, I changed my mind and I do change the background of this particular whatchamacallit. So you're probably wondering how do I make this these little shape fit. Alright, so I kind of take the flag, I undo the lock, and I make it as big as possible so that I can actually see how everything lines up. I find that it's much more easier than having it proportioned with, like, let's say, you know, fit the little box, the weekly box. So what I do is I just undo everything, and then I kind of make the shapes fit proportionate to that, and then I group everything together. Um, I attach the little, like, let's say raindrops. Right now I'm going to be working on some raindrops, and I will duplicate that 7 times. And so at this point, that's when I realized that you can't really see this. So I kind of, you know, eyeball it so that everything, you know, all 7 of them, or like, let's say if you want to do another size, like the classic planner, I think is 5 or 6. So you may want to just make it so that, oops, I duplicated that. So I'm just going to hit the duplicate button up top over there. I'm going to hit that 6 more times because I already have that one. And like I said, I'm going to try and line them up. And then, so I mean, like I said, you just kind of play around with it a little bit. You can also hit the align button. You'll, what is that? You'll hit your mouse key, your right cricket, excuse me, right click your mouse, and you hit everything once you, excuse me, once you, I kind of need to just adjust it. You would basically, so at this point, I'm having some issues, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can't even see this. This is a pain in the butt. I realized that I did something wrong here. I did not flatten them. That was one of my huge first mistakes that I made when I went to first cut out my planner flags. It didn't, um, it printed everything and then it cut. So what I did was I did not flatten them. So I am now flattening them. You can also put the button where down below you can flatten, or you could just right click it again and then it will flatten. So now I'm gonna fix that. That's what I was doing. Wait, so I forgot a step, that I made that mistake the last time, so it just was really a pain in the butt. I was so disappointed when I first made my flags, but that's okay. I redid it and everything came out better. So the key is, after you pick the color, you print and cut, you want to put it as flattened so that you know for sure that I will definitely print out, not print and cut. You don't want to print and cut these unless you want like little holes in the center, which is okay. So at this point, I'm going to move the flag, and like I said, I'm going to make um, the canvas, the virtual mat, um, another side. So like I said, you're going to right click that, you're going to hit the align button, you're going to hit distribute horizontally and distribute vertically, so that you guys can keep everything lined up and centered as much as possible. And then you're going to you're going to go right click it again, and you're going to hit attach or group. Actually, no, you should put group and then flatten one more time. So you definitely make sure you want to hit flatten. Anytime you see that little icon, just hit it, because just to be on the safe side. So at this point, I am now, after I group everything, I'm going to hit that align button one more time, and I'm going to hit, I think I decided that I was going to do up top because it was, or I just moved it, one or the other. So I just kind of eyeballed it. And then at this point, I liked it. I'm going to hit it one more time and see if, um, the center if I like that one. And then I said, wait a minute, let me just move the flag and make it a little bigger so that everything could fit a little bit more copacetically. So again, it's kind of like a playing, you play a little bit here, you put a little there. You just find a little balance. So again, I'm just kind of figuring everything out. And so I'm going to, once again, just play around with this mouse until I can figure it out what I like. So I made it big, another sizing. I'm going to try that one more time, and I'm going to hit center, or center up top. Did I hit center up top, I think? So I said, okay, you know what? I like that. And I'll close the little lock. I'll hit attach. And then once I hit attach, I will, actually no, I'm playing around with what do I like. I do this a couple of times, go back and forth. Do I like it this? Do I like it up top? Do I like it centered more? So it's kind of like I said, a real guessing game. So at this point, I said, oh, you know what? I'll just do that. So I hit attach, and then once I attach it, I will flatten everything, and then I will then take the height 2.59, and then I will take it up to the little weekly box, and then from there I'll just kind of eyeball it. So I think it's about 1.49. Don't quote me on this one. I will double check and put like a little whatchamacallit. So I'm just kind of at this point, I don't know why I changed the color back, but yeah. So it's at this point that I take the box. I realize that I accidentally uh I hit erase by accident, and I'm gonna resize that box again. Like I said, since I'm working on my big planner, I will give you that size one more time. I'll give you the sizes for all of them. Um, and pretty much if you're gonna do this for the classic or anything, it'll be pretty much the same steps. So I'm going to unhit that proportion lock. I'm going to then size it at 1.89 by 2.95. Again, the classic sizes are 1.51 by 2.41. Mini size is 3.8 by 1.5. So I'm gonna hit that for the. I'm going to bring center, so I want to eyeball it, and I'm going to play around with it, see how much room I want. Does that look about right? I'm going to put it right next to that little corner right there. I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to redo the size to 2.5. I kind of like the sizing right there. It gives me enough room for to write my little stuff on. Later on, if you want to make little lines with, like let's say a stencil or the stamp, you could do that. So that looks really, really good to me. And so, um, yeah. So this is pretty much, like I said, this is what everything is going to look like. Um, I'm just going to, I hit the color button again, the canvas button, so that I can make that white. I like the white background. So I'm just going to repeat the steps for all of these little planner flags, and then I'll print them out. I'll print them out first, and then I'll cut them out. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up if you would like to see more from me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you have any comments or questions, you can always leave them down below. And what else? Or you can always email me. My email address is eileen@eileenlittlecarruthers.com. And thank you for watching, and bye for now.